Hey, this is Eric Reeder. Do you know how many times I've been fired? It's not the easiest thing to talk about. I don't know about you, but those are not the highlights of my life. They're not at all the moments that I really even enjoy talking about. They're fairly quite embarrassing. I don't know if you went through that sort of situation. Maybe we probably all have, but the reality is those are some tough situations in life when things go down like that, and it's been some uphill battles and some uphill climbs. Hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in, Paul. Hey Carla, good to see you guys tonight. But the reality is at least I can significantly say there may have been little small things here or there, whatever, but the reality is that there's been at least 5 major times in my life that I've been fired from my job, my career, let go, things ended, dropped on your face, kicked to the curb, left without, whatever the case may be. 5 different times, 4 of those, I was the only income earner in our family. So it was literally cut off immediately. Matter of fact, my 2 last children, my 2 daughters, who are now 8 and 5, both of them were in their very first year. I was totally unemployed, totally without income. My job had ended, or I got fired, let go of right as they were being born. Our last one, Liberty Hope, was actually, I received my last paycheck the day she was born in the hospital. So we're bringing home our last one with no job, no income, nothing looking like it was coming towards us. And so those are some pretty tough deals in life. Those are some times, those are some things that are extremely challenging, especially when you're in the place of being the one who is set to provide and to bring in for your family. 4 little ones and no income and nothing set up for that. Angela and I legitimately spent pretty much the better part of 2 decades under the poverty level. It's a pretty tough deal at times, right? I'm not going to, I've been to Haiti, I've been to Africa, I've been to some tough situations, and certainly those were not the conditions that we were in, but under the poverty line where we were barely making it most of the time. But we never stopped and we never gave up. We never quit. We never backed down. We had dreams, we had goals, we had visions, and if you will, come hell or high water, we were unwilling to back down from those or to back up from those. Now the reality is it took us for a spin quite a few times. We had some significant seasons in our journey, meaning multiple years, 3, 4, 5 years, where it felt like it was nothing but a tailspin downward, where it seemed like day after day after day, more loss was coming, more news that wasn't working, something else was breaking. I bet some of you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Where it feels like it's just one thing after another, and the moment you feel like maybe you're going to get your head up for breath, something else comes and knocks you back down. It's crazy how many times Angela and I have given our heart fully and given our heart completely to the things that we are involved in, the things that we were passionate about, the things that we are getting into, only to have those things collapse and fall apart, to have the rug yanked out from underneath of us. I'm sure many of you have had those experiences. I just want you to know, so haven't I. You're not alone. You're not the only one that's had that happen, and you're not the only one who is left on your own, but you are just as able to get up on your feet, just as able to get after the things that you want to get after. You are just as able to shift the mindsets, change your focus, move into a new reality, move into a new state, and see the success of who you are begin to materialize into the experience of what you're doing in life. But man, for us, it took some serious mindset changes. I mean, we had been pound down quite a bit. I'm a pretty big hearted kind of person, and so I put all of what I am and all of who I am into things. I put all of my heart into something if I'm going at it. Hey Jesse, good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in. So many things that I've put my heart into to see it not work, to see it collapse, to see it be somewhat totally rejected, totally discounted, fired if again and again, let go of, taking steps into things like significant moving your family across the state to jump in with things, and then to have them out of the blue, out of nowhere, totally fire you, totally let you go, and leave you stranded, leave you high and dry, if you will, right when you have given your heart into something with everything that you've got. It takes the wind out in a significant way. But the reality is those who are making it now are the ones who didn't give up then. And it's an entirely different story for Angela and I right now. It's an entirely different situation. It was what we're living now, what we had been dreaming of then, when so many things fell apart, so many things collapsed, so many things didn't work. I cannot believe what it felt like to be rejected time and time and time again. I can't believe what it felt like to have my family, to have to come home and tell my family once again, they fired me, they let me go, and I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how to, I can't, it's hard to even talk about or explain what it felt like to look in my wife's eyes and to even see some of the effects that it has had on my older children who went through so many of these tough times with us. But the reality is we kept our attention set and our focus on the fact that we were not going down, that we were not going to stop. We refused to quit and we refused to give in. And that's the kind of thing that it takes, the kind of determination you've got to move into when things collapse, when things fall apart, when things don't go the way that you think they're going to go. You stand back up and you keep going. There's no other way around it. And tonight, if you will, on a Saturday night, I just felt like I needed to come in here, pop on for a little bit, and give somebody some wind in your sails to keep moving, because so many of us face crazy things, face crisis and trauma and tragedy and loss over and over, and rejection and failure and kick to the curb and move to the side. And so many times it wants to put its thumb on you and hold you down. But the reality is you're made for more than this. You're made for more than that. You've got more in you. You actually already are a success, no matter how many times they've kicked your can to the curb. So get your success up and get moving with who you are, and begin to even create your own path if you have to, which is ultimately what Angela and I have begun, what we stepped into doing, was to say, you know what? We're not going to leave our situation in the hands of somebody else. We're going to step into our power and our creativity, into our success and our ability, and we're going to carve our path and create our moves forward. And we're experiencing what we had always dreamed of. But man, did it. Let me calm down for a minute. Hey Lisa, good to see you. Awesome. Man, did it take a lot. We set ourselves on the determination that we were made for more, that we were made to have experience, do, influence, and impact even more. So now we are standing on top of those situations as the foundation of the advancement of what we're experiencing now. We didn't get here overnight. It didn't happen just because we said we wanted it to happen. We've been 2+ decades grinding this out, if you will, moving and getting ourselves through the damaging things that wanted to take us out, but we refuse to quit. So if you've had those kind of experiences, excuse me, sorry, I'm wound up in here. I love to hear from you, but the reality is there were 3 very significant words that kept me going over those seasons. through those moments. 5 different times of being fired and let go of. 5 different times of people saying, no, thank you, we don't want you. 5 different times of being left without any income and brand new babies. 5 different times of being sent down the road and not being embraced or accepted when we were putting our heart into that situation and everything that we had to give to it. Next thing you know, no thank you. 5 different times, and every time there had been 3 significant words that I held on to that anchored me in those moments, that empowered me to rise above those things and begin to see beauty even in the midst of ashes. And you know, if you're open to knowing what those 3 words are, I love to get them to you. So hit me up in a messenger, drop me a direct message, and I want to send you the 3 words that I held on to through those most challenging, difficult, grueling, grinding moments that I literally thought I might lose my mind, and it oftentimes was very trapped in some difficult mental situations from those moments of trauma and those moments of loss. But I held on to 3 significant words that I would love to for you to have and love for you to utilize to get beyond where you might be, to get into situations of where you want to go, and so that you refuse to stay held down, for you to refuse to not give up, to not give in. We all need those moments of someone breathing some wind into our sails. And so I want to do that. Hit me up and direct with a DM over in Messenger, and I'll send you the 3 words that I held on to in the moments of collapse and crisis of our journey that's allowed us to see the success that we're experiencing now, to see the influence that we have now, to see the impact that we have now, to see the opportunity and the open doors that are available to us now. We are in that place because of the 3 words that I want to send you. So hit me a direct message. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for jumping in. Have a good weekend.